Every single brand out there needs logo variations, and in today's video, I'm going to be getting into why that is and showing some examples of what those look like. Hello, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Kinsey. I am the brand and web designer behind Kinsey Green Design, and if you're not new, as always, so happy to have you back. Before I go any further in this video, I do want to just put it out there that the brand I'm sharing, the brand marks and the logo variations I'm sharing are from a client project which does contain profanity in the brand name. So if you are easily offended by profanity, then this video may not be for you. So let's get into what logo variations actually are. First off, basically they are simplified or abstract variations of your primary logo design. And they're extremely important because we show up in so many different ways as brands nowadays, from the digital environment to the physical space, that one single primary logo design simply cannot adapt to all of those different places. I mean, when we're really thinking about it, you need a favicon for the little tab at the top of your website. You need a mark that's going to fit into a little circle profile photo. You may need a variation to go in the footer of your website and all sorts of other unique places like that. So now I want to share my client's logo as well as her brand marks with you guys. Here they are, and as you can see, they all look like they've originated from the same brand. Every single time I work with a client, they get a primary logo, a secondary logo, and at minimum 3 brand marks or sub marks. These are basically other simplified variations of the logo design that can work in all sorts of different places. And some people will refer to these things with different terms. So I personally like to typically refer to my clients' logo variations as brand marks, and other designers will refer to them as sub-marks or maybe even their own little terminology they've come up with. Now I want to get into how to actually use these different logos and logo variations and how they're beneficial to your brand. So first off, we have the primary logo design, and this is basically the starting point for all of the other logo variations. And this is the thing that is the main identifier of your brand. It's usually seen at the top of your website and is in general your most prominent logo design. That being said, primary logos can sometimes end up being really large and may not always fit in certain places where they're needed, which is where the secondary logo design comes in handy. This is typically very similar to the primary logo, but with a simplified tagline, and sometimes the secondary logo doesn't even include the tagline at all. The secondary logo is basically just used in places in which your primary logo is way too large to fit. Now we're moving in to the more abstract variations, the brand marks or sub-marks, whatever you would like to call them. Here we have the circle sub-mark. This is one of my favorite types of marks to create because they always look spectacular, but they can also make really great stickers and can typically be used in social media profile photos where a round logo design is required. Almost all of my clients walk away with some type of circular submark. Not always, but most of the time they do have some type of circular mark because this type of mark can be so useful. Next, we have what I like to refer to as the initials submark. This can also be used in social media profile photos, but it also works as a favicon. Again, that little icon that shows up at the top of your browser tab. It can also be used in the footer of your website and in your social media posts. It works great to show, hey, this is me, this is my brand, without actually spelling out the entire brand name. And lastly, we have a really unique submark variation. This includes a few elements from my client's actual brand identity, as well as the supporting tagline, but doesn't actually have the brand name in it. So again, this is just a way to say, hey, this is my brand. Here's the tagline, here's the vibe, the feel, but it doesn't actually spell out the brand name. Let's look at these things all together again, just for a recap. We have the primary logo, secondary logo, circle submark, initial submark, and that other abstract submark. Now, sometimes my clients will also walk away with a submark that just represents their tagline or that is just strictly text. It really all depends on where my client is really going to be showing up. For example, if I have a client who is going to be printing out a lot of packaging and they're thinking of getting some branded ribbon created for their boxes and they need to just put their brand name on that ribbon on that one single line, then I may create a brand mark for that client that just includes text. Whereas for this client featured in today's video is primarily showing up in the online space, I wanted to give them a lot of brand marks that would work well in a variety of digital spaces, and a brand mark or two that could be turned into a sticker or something of that sort for their small product packages. Obviously, the things you've seen today do not make up the entire brand identity. My client still has brand patterns, various brand icons, elements, reusable social media posts, and all sorts of other good stuff that make up her entire brand identity. But these are the main logos and logo variations that do help identify her brand. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you found it helpful, please give it a like. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section, and I will see you in the next video.